Hi, my name is Emily Barber and I am a Psychology Honours student at Victoria University. I have spent 2020 conducting research within the cyber psychology team and have looked specifically at profiles of popularity within an adolescent population, and if these profiles differ in terms of internet use and levels of interpersonal sensitivity. This is an area of research that holds great significance given the importance of social support throughout adolescent years. It is during this time when one consolidates their identity, self-esteem, and future life direction. Negative relationships or lack of relationships can often lead to poor interpersonal skills, isolation, and mental health concerns such as depression. A number of pre-existing theories highlight the positive and negative consequences of internet use, as well as who benefits and suffers most. Studies around interpersonal sensitivity suggest that high levels are more commonly associated with low popularity and social comparison, as well as higher levels of internet use. The present study has aimed to address 4 research questions. The first, what is the optimum number of popularity profiles in an adolescent population? What is the size of each of the profiles? What is the nature of each of the profiles? And lastly, how does each profile correlate with variables of internet use and interpersonal sensitivity? The data collected was archival and consisted of 2,090 Greek adolescent students in 2012. At the time of data collection, a number of instruments were used, including the Internet Addiction Test, the SLC-90 revised, as well as sociometric and perceived popularity measures. To determine the profiles, the advanced statistical method of latent profile analysis was employed. This was used through the software RStudio, which works to identify naturally occurring subgroups within a population. These are measured through specific indicators. In this case, they were positive popularity scores, negative popularity scores, sociometric impact scores, as well as self-perceived popularity. The results for questions 1, 2, and 3 revealed 3 distinct profiles of popularity. The first contributing to 4.8% of the sample, and this has been called the insecure bistrategic profile. This was due to the profile having higher scores of both positive and negative popularity, however lower scores of self-perceived. Profile 2 has been named average confident. This made up 68% and the largest proportion of the population. It is characterized as both average positive and negative popularity scores, as well as slightly higher scores of self-perceived popularity. The third and final made up 26.8% and has been named the socially vulnerable profile. This comprised of students that were relatively high on negative popularity and low in terms of positive popularity and self-perceived. To address question number 4, the free software Jamovi was used and an ANOVA was applied to each of the profile's relationships with levels of internet use and interpersonal sensitivity. The results found no statistically significant relationship between any of the 3 profiles or the listed variables. To further explore these associations, each of the independent indicators were assessed using a linear regression. Interestingly, both positive and sociometric popularity were significantly associated with internet use, although at a healthy level. In addition, self-perceived popularity was significantly associated with interpersonal sensitivity scores. The described study has contributed to the line of research assessing peer popularity profiles throughout adolescence. It is the first known study that examines a large Greek cohort of adolescents using the sociometric, self-perceived, and peer popularity methods. The lack of significant differences between the profiles and the variables suggests that there is not a specific popularity profile that can define such variables. This therefore calls into question certain stereotypes, assessment, and diagnoses of popularity types being high risk for either excessive internet use or high interpersonal sensitivity. The study was of course limited, the first limit being the culturally specific population solely in Greece. Therefore, cultural considerations are necessary. The second being the age of the IAT test, which was developed in 1998. This was before internet was such a big sensation. Future research may benefit from a longitudinal study that considers how adolescents evolve through to early adulthood, as well as considering other factors of family influence and personality. Thank you for watching. If you want to know more about what our cyber psychology team are up to, check out our online homepage or our Twitter for past and future projects.